Hello everyone. I'm pretty excited about the fact that I'm down to my last slab of wood. I had about 50 or 60 slabs in my garage, and this place has been nothing but a wood shop. And I'm preparing to get this cleared out because we're developing our brand new fitness equipment. It has 2 patents on it, and the manufacturer is going to get it here. It's supposed to be here just a few days ago. That's why I was rushing against the clock to get this wood taken care of. But there's been a slight delay, so I'll get it here, and I'm going to be turning this place from a wood shop into a home gym. The piece of equipment that I'm talking about is called the core bench, and it transforms into 12 different pieces of fitness equipment that allows the user to have a full home gym using limited floor space. So it can be done, put into a garage, it can be put into a bedroom, but you'll literally get 12 different pieces of gym quality equipment that's actually like weight plate loaded. You'll see videos coming out. We're gonna start doing some serious marketing, but that's been my goal, is to get this flipping wood out of here and turn this thing into a gym so we can start shooting videos for YouTube, providing healthy food recipes. I'm going to be shooting recipes in the kitchen, workouts, the whole nine. So please subscribe to our channel, hit the bell for alerts, and it's going to be a pretty cool journey. So I'm excited. But yeah, I'm down to my last slab of wood. This bad boy right here, it's been nothing but a pretty much station for me to put on my crap. But here, I'll get this cleared off. Here, I'll show you something pretty fresh, but don't tell anybody. Let me see here. Voila, check it out. Hey, remember, don't tell anybody about that. But yeah, this piece is gonna be a bar top. I'm definitely going to go step by step. I mean, I'm going to film the sanding, the epoxy to fill that hole, just trimming down the edge, cutting everything. I've done these videos before, and I get in such a rush to get it done. I don't really get in and show the details and the coaching on how to sand properly and do things like that, because these pieces of wood are beautiful. To pay someone to do it, it can get pretty expensive. But here in Texas, there are plenty of ranches that have wood. And I used to meet up with a guy named Gene. He was like 85 years old, massive ranch. He had trees that he wanted taken down off his property that were dead. And that's kind of where I end up getting those 50 to 60 slabs of wood that was basically stacked up here about 4 or 5 feet and went all the way across the garage. So very thankful to get those out and get them gone. And when I first saw this piece, I was thinking, what the heck are you gonna do with this? Because I'll get my tape measure real quick. It's just a pretty crazy piece of wood. So it's like roughly about 19 inches on this end. Once I get all this crap cut off, we're looking at about 25 inches on this end. The middle comes out to 32. So as far as tabletops go, this is definitely a piece that's going to be really cool to make a bar top out of. We also had taken down a blonde pecan tree, and I have these right here. I have a whole stack of those. So I'm also going to get in and make some bar stools to go around this dude, and just make it a nice place to kick it and crack a cold one. So bye for now. Next, the first stage in this is going to be me cutting down these ends. I'll probably take this in about 2-3 inches and slice that. and then get this guy all squared up. See you in a bit. Use the belt sander across the entire top of the table just to take off the most rough portions of the wood. But right here, you'll see it looks pretty busted up along this edge. So what I'm going to do is I will get in here and carve all this out and basically design it with the belt sander. And you'll see the outcome of that. But yeah, it's just kind of notched up in a couple areas. And a lot of times it happens whenever we take the wood down and then we run it through the mill and turn it into slabs. Sometimes whenever we're using the forklift to get everything put back on the trailer, it'll get in here and start nicking stuff up and chipping it up. But in the end, it turns out to be some pretty cool character, and you'll see what I'm talking about. So this right here is what I was talking about. It's a little bit smoother. I'll get in here with a softer sandpaper and really make it look sweet. So yeah, next step is I'll go around the entire table like this and then jump on a different sander with softer sandpaper. Okay, it's round 2, day 2. And I went through and sanded down the, this is going to be the bottom of the table. So I went ahead and sanded it down probably about 70%. I didn't spend a whole lot of time on it, but I just needed to get it sanded down so we could take this tape, and we'll take this tape and we will tape up this hole. Okay, because I'm going to end up filling this hole with epoxy. So we'll put tape underneath first, and then I'll follow it up with this piece of cardboard. That way it can support the weight of the epoxy. In the past, I did it and didn't have a support, and the epoxy heats up and does weird things to tape. So it started pulling the tape away from the wood, and then it leaks, and it's a disaster. So I learned that get a piece of cardboard to support. I'll run tape all the way around the edge. Also probably throw some staples in there just to really keep it in place. But yeah, we're gonna be doing some cool things on this. I will be filming exactly the process of the tape job as we go along, so I can show you step by step. I'm just gonna start off with like a clear epoxy at first to get this hole filled. And then I think I'm gonna do something kind of cool. This is white. This is white powder, which is colored epoxy. This one right here is called Caribbean blue. And then you have cobalt blue. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to create a shoreline on the top surface and just make it kind of like an ocean scene up there. It's the first time I'm doing it like this. I usually either do clear epoxy or, you know, a single color, but I'm going to try to get funky this time, and more than likely I'll probably end up messing something up. first phase of sanding has been completed. I went all the way up to 180 grade sandpaper. It's probably at about 85, 90% right now. I'll end up finishing it up with 220 sandpaper before we actually start putting down the finish. But the next step, since I got everything taped and prepped, we're gonna be doing the epoxy pour. So I'm gonna show you what I use for that. I use these guys right here. The one on the left, both these are pretty old, but the one on the left is the hardener, and it started getting a yellow tint. It used to be clear, but it's not gonna matter because whenever we get down in here and we start pouring, we'll just use this as a filler, and it'll go in, it'll fill that hole. And I'll probably leave about a good quarter to the half inch right here across the top, so I can do that ocean scene design that I was talking about. So yeah, we'll be dumping this in there. Also, I came through and like I was explaining earlier, we got about a 1/4 inch barrier right there. So whenever I fill this crack with epoxy, it'll be in there. It's taped across the side and the bottom. But yeah, this thing's gonna come out sweet. Especially like this whole part right here. This is super hard wood. But once you polish it out and put finish on it, it absolutely looks amazing. So this is gonna be a really cool piece. I'm excited. And then also I'll end up probably doing some like ocean scene water in here as well. But let's get to pouring. So I ended up pouring about 12 ounces of the hardener and 12 ounces of the resin. Whenever I'm doing a hole like this, I usually want to pour just a little bit in at first and let it dry and let it harden, because it works as a good foundation against that cardboard that's on the underneath side. It'll help get in there and prevent leaks and everything else. Whenever you pour, as you can see right here, this white part, that is air bubbles from the epoxy during the stirring process. So in order to get those out, I mean, and it's really not gonna matter because like I say, I'm gonna try to do that ocean scene up top, but just for reference, I mean, if you guys end up doing this down the road, if you wanted this just clear glass to where you can see all the way through, you obviously wouldn't want any air bubbles in there. So what you use is, use this handy little blowtorch, turn this guy on, and you'll just come in here and hold it probably about 6 to 8 inches away and just give a little pop. Boom, done. There's some more over here that you can't really see. Done. So yeah, it's just that, it's that easy. And then, yeah, I'll leave the rest because also with being extremely dry wood, you start blowtorching it, there is a possibility that some of the super dry wood in here could start embering and potentially catch fire. So yeah, anytime I'm filling a deep hole like this, I don't get too crazy with trying to get out all the air bubbles because like I say, it can potentially cause a fire. Okay, so we're on to the next step. I went ahead and poured in some of the colored epoxy in the cracks. I still haven't got to the little ocean scene that I'm trying to do. I will definitely be actually filming that whenever I'm doing it. It looks pretty cool. But this is where we're at. I had a little bit of blue left over and I didn't want to waste it, so I just poured it in there. But yeah, I got these cracks with some blue in there. This was a knot hole that had some open cracks, so I've got that filled up. But yeah, this is all epoxy right here. I just poured in the cracks so it wouldn't leak all the way through whenever I actually come through and pour the epoxy across the entire table. So yeah, we're rocking and rolling. Okay, so I went ahead and ripped through that epoxy that was on the top surface. I got it totally smooth. It's completely sanded down all the way to a 220 sandpaper. So the top side is sanded and finished. I brought the wood into the garage, and now I'm going to apply 2 coats of polyurethane that has UV protectant in it. And this is the product I'm using right here, this Hellsman, and it's got sunlight protectant, rain and moisture. So yeah, I'll get this applied, like I say, 2 coats, and I will go ahead and post up here on this tripod the camera and let you guys see exactly how to work that brush in a way to avoid brush strokes. If you put this polyurethane down too thick, it will actually leave brush strokes. So yeah, we'll just take it slow and I'll show you what's up. All right, it's go time. We pop this lid. Get it cleaned off. So yeah, this brush right here, I get a 2-pack at the dollar store. So yeah, these, especially when you're using polyurethane or pushing epoxy, something like that, it's best just to trash these brushes. So yeah, stick on the cheap side of things and just hit that dollar store. So this is it. It has a consistency of a little bit thinner than pancake syrup. But when you're applying also, and you're working this edge, if you drag the brush across that edge, there's a chance that that edge is going to catch some of the product and it'll start running down the side. So I don't go all the way to the end. Yeah, just let that wood just drink it up. But what I do is, to catch that edge, I'll go over the top of it. That way it's not like squeegeeing product out of the brush. And yeah, some of these other products, like Good Stuff, which is an amazing product. It's a wood sealant as well, but it's kind of like an all-in-one. It comes out almost like jelly for peanut butter and jelly. And that, it's really important to have, especially if you're gonna apply it with a brush, you're gonna wanna have stiff bristles. I found that works the best. That way you can really get in there and just push the product, because if you put it down too thick, like I say, it'll cause brush strokes. Say that slow. But yeah, I think we got the gist of it. I'm gonna back this camera up and we'll just do a fast forward through the whole application. So I finished that second coat and it's completely dry. I'll show you the aftermath here. So right now I'm gonna jump in on this bad boy right here and try to create something very similar to this right here. We'll see if it goes. There are some true professionals out there that pull it off, and I watch a couple YouTube videos, but yeah, this is gonna be my first time. I'm gonna mix up about 4 ounces of epoxy. That way we're not going too deep, so if I do mess this thing up, I'll have a second chance. So we're gonna be doing white, Caribbean blue, actually Caribbean blue. This is gonna be blue green and cobalt blue. So this is gonna be the deep water, I guess medium deep water. And then I'm gonna make this almost clear transparent, but there's gonna be kind of a little bit of a greenish blue tint to it. I'll be adding more color to these so the color stays a little bit darker, but this I almost want it watered down because if you look, there's all that clear water with the white bubbles. So I'm gonna go ahead and thin this one out to where it's just slightly blue-green, and then I'll drizzle some white across there and then hit it with a blow dryer to disturb it a little bit to where I can push, almost making my own waves with the blow dryer. So stand by, we're gonna get it on. All right, it's time to party. Let's see what happens. So it's the next day, and I allowed the ocean scene epoxy to dry, and it's hard now, and we're gonna be doing round 2. This was kind of the outcome right here. So I think in this next go, I'm gonna try to use a little less white, a little more blue, so we can try to keep a lot of the white, like the waves crashing around the shoreline. So we'll see what happens. Round 2 coming up. I'm back. So while we're waiting for the epoxy in the ocean scene to harden up, I'm gonna go ahead and put masking tape all around the outside of the table here to build that barrier. So whenever we come in with that clear epoxy, it'll just have that glass finish and it won't be running off the sides and getting messy. So we're almost there. I'll get her taped up and put on fast forward. So I was gonna go ahead and pour the epoxy across the top of the table. I've had this epoxy for a while. You saw earlier in the video that I used some epoxy that had been yellowing, but that was fine to use because that was the initial pour before we did the ocean scene, so you couldn't see any of the yellowing. I just basically used it to fill a hole, but the epoxy I was gonna get into today, same thing, yellow. So if I were to pour that, there's a likelihood that whenever I pour it down in here, with it being, inset a little bit, it's gonna cause yellowing, so I didn't want to roll the dice. So we're gonna have about a 4 or 5 day delay. I ordered some more, but yeah, kids, never use yellow epoxy, old epoxy whenever you're getting ready to, like I say, put the icing on the cake and just get this thing nice. Everything that's gonna be seen needs to be perfect. Like I say, that inset, that first pour didn't matter. It could be yellow, whatever. But yeah, definitely epoxy has an expiration date. I'm learning. So, yep, I have some coming and we'll get back to it. Have a good weekend. Okay, so we're back in business. The epoxy has made it and it's time to get that glass finish on the table and fill in all the low spots as well as that ocean scene. I don't know if I already said it, but yeah, that epoxy took about 5 days to get here. So there was definitely a waiting process, but I'm ready to get back to work on it. A lot happened in that 5 days. I got some good news. And the wife and I, we also went to this amazing Halloween party and had a blast. Axl Rose and Slash. And it was an awesome time. But the big thing is that the piece of equipment called the core bench that I have 2 patents on, we finally received the prototypes from our manufacturer, and I want to show that to you. So yeah, this is it. This is it. This is that full home gym to where you don't have to take that drive to the gym anymore, get stuck in conversation, wait for machines. It's all right here. So there's my bench, the one that I have the patents on. Full body workout head to toe. It transforms into 12 different pieces of fitness equipment, so you're getting a full body workout. This right here is the leg attachment piece, and you kind of see down there at the base, right where those insert holes are, that's where it attaches to the bench. So you can do leg extension, leg curl, also, and as you can see right there, it's plate loaded, so you can stack 45s on there. There's enough clearance. This right here is the hyperextension oblique platform. So this also has the selective holes down there that slide into the base of the bench. And then this seat right here, it actually swivels, so you can customize it to your body size. This also goes up and down. So yeah, once you get that in there, you can do hyperextensions, oblique training. You can do stand-up hamstring curls on this bad boy. Yeah, this thing's a beast. I'm so ready to get started on it and start shooting some workout videos. But yeah, it's got that built-in Smith bar machine. This attachment right here is for leg press. You just have that bench flat, put your feet right up there, and you can stack up that Smith bar with weight. and do leg press from home. You got the adjustable cables, pull-up bar, these posts right here, that's for bar dips. If you want to do barbell rows, this right here, you can hook in, it swivels. There's an extra place right over here. I'm moving this camera around too much, so we're getting blurry. But yeah, there's a barbell storage right back there. You can put all your weights off the back. And yeah, there's another little platform against that wall that you put right here, and you can do seated rows. But with the way this cable system adjusts, you can literally set on our bench and flip this seat all the way back to where it's like in a military position, and you can kill rows that way too. So yeah, very excited. We're gonna start accepting some pre-orders on all of the equipment that we're gonna carry, which is gonna be bars, dumbbells, adjustable dumbbells, all of it. Rubber floor mats for your home gym. We just wanna accommodate residential customers that want to start training from home. So yeah, those pre-orders, they're going to be done through Kickstarter. That way it holds some accountability on McCall Fitness, and that's what we're going to be offering. It's called an early bird special through Kickstarter, and yeah, we're going to have our biggest sell, introductory sell, and it'll never be lower prices than what we're going to offer there, just so we can start building the excitement and getting this stuff out into the public. So yeah, head to toe workouts, no more waiting at the gym. I'm gonna love that. I'm very excited to get training, and like I say, shoot some videos. But I've got the station set up. That's my terrible towel. I'm not gonna get a drop on there. Steelers aren't doing too hot, but I still love them. And then, yeah, so we'll be filling in this whole table. And I don't know if you can see, but there's like, it's a little bit low. And we're gonna fill that in with some glass. This thing's gonna be beautiful, and I'm pumped to get it out of here. The whole mission was to have this thing done so we could get the equipment set up. And yeah, went sideways with that yellow epoxy. So problem fixed. I'm gonna fast forward the process of doing this epoxy. All right, this is the final video. I went ahead and peeled all that green tape, that barrier that was around the table. I got all that peeled off. And after you do that, that epoxy butts up against that tape. So there's like kind of like a sharp edge. So then I got my sander, went around, lightly sanded the whole thing down, and then did another thin coat across the top, and then rubbed it down on the sides. But yeah, this has been a pretty lengthy video. I wanted to do the whole step-by-step process of how to do live edge table, and I accomplished that. But like I say, it's pretty long, so thank you for sticking it out if you did. And here is the final outcome. Whoa. So yeah, you can see that glass finish. Put that all the way around the edge. So yeah, I'm pumped. I got the base designed, and I'll give that to my welder. Welding's something that I don't do, so those lights are reflective on there. But yeah, that was a process. Thank you again for sticking it out in the video, and please subscribe and hit the bell for notifications on the YouTube channel. That way you can be involved in all the fitness videos and showing everything the core bench does along with the cable system, so you can have a full, complete home gym, make it super easy to train. And thanks again.